think it gives me a sense of direction and purpose, and I know what I need to be doing to live a faithful life. So it really helps me out. It's like a roadmap for me.
But I feel happy all the time, and I love it. I'm guessing, pretty sure that's from living the standards.
I think if you live the standards, you'll have better friends, and you'll be in like better situations, I guess.
Life.
Well, I know what I'm supposed to do because of them. It helps me go on the right track, and it has helped me find good friends that are also there for me. And when something's hard for me, it's also hard for them because they're doing the same thing. They have the same standards. So it helps having friends and everything. So that's how it's blessed me, finding friends and keeping going.
It kind of has worked as a roadmap in a way to like help me know right from wrong.
I think it's blessed my life with strengthening my testimony, and it's always taught me how to keep my standards high and where they're supposed to be.
Well, living the strength of these standards has provided a deeper trust between me and my parents, and going to high school, going to a high school where there's so many kids, there's a lot of standards, but knowing that I'm living the standards that my Heavenly Father wants me to live and what my parents want me to live, that's all I need.
As I follow the standards, I can recognize the things in my life as I come closer to the way Christ lived, and I can see how my life tries to follow and kind of resemble the way He lives. And so when I follow the standards, I become closer to Him, and I can feel His love for me, and I can feel the love for everyone else too.
I haven't been in a position where I don't know what to do. But the strength of youth has helped me with that. Like if I've been in a sticky situation, I don't have to figure out what to do. I can just go to that and help.
It blessed me a lot. When you live it, it's a lot easier to find your true friends.
It's blessed my life in many ways. One of them, it's preparing me to be a better father for the future, and a better husband. It also guides me in the right path to make the best choices I can make for my family and myself right now.
I've been able to stay close to God, and it keeps me on the right path. Like it keeps my doubts away. Like whenever I feel like something is just wrong, I'm able to just look back and just think and realize that God has a plan.
That way you are more mature, more prepared to have fun in a responsible way.
I'm pretty sure if I did start before I was 16, might have got into, like everyone has like their crushes, and they're like, oh, this girl's way pretty, and they let them know, and they're like, ooh, I like you, and you like me, oh, and then if you were to like get together and you're dating and you're a couple, then things would probably get serious, and you'd probably stick with that person for a bit, and it could potentially like cause you from not going on a mission, because you would not want to leave that person because you've been with them for so long.
I think you get to just grow up a little bit more and meet more people. There's not that pressure of just dating so young. And I think people that start dating young get caught up in these weird relationships that just aren't good. And so I think it's better to start when you're 16, because then you're ready, then you can just group date and have fun, and it's more relaxed.
You've been in the young women for a little bit, so you've had your little base of your foundations of what they teach you, with dating. So when you're at that age, you're just more mature. You're able to understand what you're doing, and you have more respect for yourself and for the other person.
I think waiting till you're 16 is a good idea. I didn't think that when I was 16, but you're more mature and you know the standards, because you're taught more when you're 16 and you know more.
I used to think that you had to wait till you're 16 because that's when you get your license. Waiting till you're 16, Like it gives you the maturity, gives you the maturing, and it's something just to look forward to. So you're not just dating to see if a girl will like you. You date her, and you actually get to know her better for who she actually is.
Well, because you're older, you feel like you can actually understand what you're looking for in dates and what kind of things you enjoy and who you like to be around when you date. So.
It can help me focus on them as a person, so I'm not thinking about what they're wearing the whole time. I can just enjoy the date and get to know them.
It affects me greatly. Knowing that she has the self-respect to not have to flaunt her body around to get my attention, it just makes me want to hold her to a higher standard like she holds herself.
I think, well, if they do dress modestly, then I guess things will be more comfortable and you won't be tempted to do anything bad.
Well, I turned this question on myself and I said, if I dress immodestly, what's my date gonna think? And so I thought, well, I want them to like get to know me for me and know who I am and what I'm about. I don't want them to be like looking at me all awkward or anything, so I just turned it on myself.
Well, the way it affects me is I feel cleaner and I feel more proud of my individual worth. One of the values for young women, I feel like it's more about my spirit and more about my personality and what's inside.
I personally, I feel uncomfortable if I'm wearing really too short shorts or and I feel like my date would feel uncomfortable. It's like you're showing that you respect yourself and you can have a guy talk to you without having to just be disrespectful towards your body.
It affects us, just our attitude on what we're gonna do and how he treats me and how I treat him and what we're gonna do that night.
I guess it makes the date more comfortable.
When a girl does wear modest clothing, I guess it's more attractive because she's not trying to impress. She's just being herself, and she doesn't have to use her body as a way to sell herself.
It shows the kind of person that she wants to be and what standards she has for herself, and kind of gives you a better idea of what kind of mother you would want to look for in the future.
First of all, if they are immodest, it is super uncomfortable. Like no other. How are you even supposed to look at your date if she's not even wearing anything? It's just, you having fun?
Let's see. One was actually just we had a young men's and young women's activity. It was a date night, and everybody had fun, and we played volleyball. I think everybody was getting along, and I guess the atmosphere was really good since it was a mutual activity.
So there was this one, I think it was for a dance. It was for homecoming. We went couching. We bought these couches. We had this huge group. So we bought these 2 couches from the DI and threw them in the back of a truck. And we lugged them around town, just anywhere we could think of. We met over at a park and we had a contest to see who could take a picture with the couch and the most cool scene anywhere with your group. And so it was a little contest between 2 people. And we were taking it all over the place, on this ledge. All these people were sitting on this tiny little couch. We drove through Chick-fil-A drive-thru and had the persons reach their head out the window and take a picture of us in the back of the truck. The coolest one was in the middle of the street. We hit the stoplight thing so we could walk across, and we brought the couch over in the middle of the street. All these cars would bang! Oh, it was so cool.
What makes a great date is the guy who is a gentleman and also just the easiness of having fun. One of the best dates I went on, we went hiking to Ensign Peak in the morning, and afterwards we hadn't exactly planned anything else besides breakfast after that, and we just kind of improvised, and we went out and jumped on the tramp in the rain, and we had a good time, and it was really sweet just hanging around each other, and it was a triple date.
Great.
And so it just kind of made it more intimate, but the improvisation and just being able to have fun that spirit that they have of just, you can feel that when you're with them the entire time they have respect for you. And they think you're a great person and they just want to be around you, but they also have that respect because they recognize that you're a daughter of God.
I know if I choose the right, then I'll make it back to my Savior.
I guess just reading the scriptures and praying every night, because that helps you stay on track with your spirit. It's just having good friends.
I think seeing everything around me that discourages me from keeping the For Strength of Youth standards is kind of something that encourages me to keep them, because I see how everyone else is living and it doesn't look like a happy life. It looks like something that I want to avoid. So I really keep to the standards to make myself happy and to follow the gospel.
With my friends again, it just helps because if I'm upset about it, they're upset about it, and we just kind of help each other. And if one person's kind of falling away, or they're like, oh, let's go do this, but you know, like, you don't feel comfortable, it's just like, well, this is here, like, why don't we do this instead? And it just helps because everybody's on the same track as you.
I confide a lot in my parents. I follow their wisdom and what they teach me, and as well, of course, I pray for protection, guidance, and temptation.
I think always keeping a positive attitude and following all the standards that are in the For Strength of Youth. And always keeping the Spirit with you, making sure you're not in any situation that you can be tempted with anything.
I know I'm not perfect, and I know that I'm going to need help along the way, and living these standards provides me that security, and like I said, it's trust between my parents, and just know that I'm staying out of trouble.
Like in high school, it's really hard, like, because you have so many people that either don't know about the church or like wants to go away from church, and I can just take it as I can be just an example, and I can help them and see how great it can be and how you can use it in a good way instead of trying to go down the wrong path.
I think my biggest help would be seminary. Between that, I have it every other day. It's sometimes in the For Strength of Youth pamphlet, we don't talk about it a lot of times with the youth, just like the youth. You know, like we would talk about like the Book of Mormon or the Prophets or conference. You know, it's easy to talk about that, but for the Strength of Youth, I guess my seminary teachers always like to reference it, including that we're teenagers, we're going through it. It's easier for them to tie it in the lesson because, you know, we are the youth. So I guess seminary has been a good reminder, including that I have it in the morning. It's my first period on B days. So as soon I just get there at 7:20 and feel the Spirit the whole day.
I think it's just my testimony, and I don't know, I see like the examples that, like, with the people, you know, that will dress in modestly or don't follow For the Strength of Youth. I see that they're like, yeah, they're happy, but I see what goes on behind their back, like with guys talking really disrespectful about them on how they look or anything like that. So it's like, I would never want that. So I just see those little things, and instead of me being that person, I take that example and just take it in and be like, okay, well, if it's not working out there, it's not going to work out here. So I'd rather just keep my standards.
By keeping your friends close. If your friends have the same standards as you, that was the biggest help for me. I know that my friends all follow the For Strength of Youth really well also, and because we did it together, we were able to find strength in one another as we all followed the standards.
For the Strength of Youth, I kind of see it as like a strategy guide of how to survive all these onslaughts of evil. Like, I feel like Satan has his little army back behind his cliff, and they all have these longbows, and they're just trying to launch this huge armada of death at us. And this little book somehow teaches us, like, ways to maneuver around these arrows and all this blockades and shields and armor that you could equip with, and just all this stuff that you could get away from the world and how it likes to live?
I know that this church is true. I know that it's true because I know who I am when I'm living what my parents want me to live and when I'm living the gospel versus when I'm not. And I want to be the person that lives the gospel and is always involved with the church.
He can make the ocean dry. He can stay the setting sun. Creator of the earth and sky. He is the one. He can tame the raging